What was we doing before? What was we really doing before? What's going on, everybody? Big shout out to everybody and welcome back to just another Real Talk video as we thank the Most High Yah for so much. I'm coming up with this title because I'm looking at so many people, especially the ones that's older, who have gotten so stuck on technology. I want to go back in the day, and there are some that's older than me, and there are some that's younger than me that's not gonna know what I'm talking about. But to the ones that's older than me, and that's my age and up, let's go back to what was we doing before. And I know if my mama JT is looking at this video, Mama JT, when you ran out of toothpaste, what did you do? Even if you had toothpaste, what did you do? You would mix peroxide with baking soda and put a little bowl in there on the sink and say, y'all do what? Brush your teeth. I remember going outside when video games wasn't so popular like they are now. And we would play games like hide and go seek, throw up tackle in the front yard, red light, riding bicycles, staring outside till the sun go down. What was we doing before? What was we doing before? I laugh at my wife and them because they laugh at me because I still drink tap water. They say y'all tap water in Texas just don't taste all that good. And I was brought up on tap water, but if they would have never came out with purified water, what kind of water would you still be drinking? Before you had a car, what was you doing? Before all this social media, what you had to do, you had to have real conversation. Real conversation. It wasn't no going out to eat and people just texting out on their phone. You had to look face to face and you talked. Church folks, what was you doing before all this entertaining now? Uh-oh, let me leave that alone. What was we doing before? So many people are panicking. Well, what if they take this away next? What if they take this away? What if we lose our phones next? What did you have before you had your phone? How many of y'all remember DSL? Dial-up. When the internet came out, but y'all remember the internet when you had that slow connection. What did you have before the number 911? You had a long number to dial. I'm just trying to bring us back to, so many of us done got so stuck on technology, but what was you doing before? Let me go to some of my people that's 70 and up. Since everybody's going crazy about this toilet paper, let's go back to the outhouses when y'all would wipe with rags, took clothes off and wiped your butt with rags. What was you doing before? Because you can't go in the store and find another roll of toilet tissue. What are you going to do to wipe your butt? You panicking. We out of toilet paper. They used to use rags. Well, ain't no diapers for the kids. Well, what we used to use way back in the day when you had no diapers, you made your own diapers. Toe up clothes and shirts. What was we doing before all of the things happened now? Technology. What was we doing? What if right now they decide to take away all social media? I'm just saying, what if? Let's do a what if right quick. What if? What if they decide to remove the iPhone? What if they took away Instagram, Twitter, what if Facebook was no longer around? How many people would go crazy? What if? What if you go to the gas station and ain't no more gas again? What if your electricity stay off for the next 6 weeks? What if the government have another government shutdown? What if the government right now decide we're going to take everybody off Section 8 and food stamps and the WIC program and all the other help that you get? What would you do? Why am I saying all this? Because it's coming down to this. Most of it is already here. But what was you doing before? What was you doing before? See, I'm glad I was brought up the way I was brought up because it made me appreciate life, the little things in life. I tell people all the time, it's the little things in life that JT love, that hits my heart so great because I know how it is to struggle. I know how it is to grow up and have one utility on and then the next get cut off. But are them days over or are they coming back? When mom and them had to put some on this bill and then put half on this bill, but then take the rest of that money and go to the store and just get a little bit of groceries. Because now food is getting very hard to find now. That's going to be the next thing that happens. Y'all better catch when I say stuff like this. Watch another food shortage hit bigger than ever before. They're already closing down a lot of them if you're keeping up with it. What you going to do? See, why am I saying this? Because we know how to survive. People always ask me, JT, what if they took, I say, you can take away everything from me. But one thing I do need to survive with is water. I need water. And that's why I don't have no problem to this day, still drinking tap water. I laugh at so many people because, well, I don't use water out the sink, but then they still use water out the sink. Didn't you just use the water out the sink when you washed your hands? Didn't you just use the water out the sink when you put it in that coffee? Then I just sit back and laugh because what people say sometimes to me is so funny because they still doing what they say they don't do. Let me leave that alone. But what was you doing before mankind started telling you what you was doing and wasn't working in the first place? That's done brought you all these years that's been working. We let man dictate everything in this world, but not JT. See, some of this stuff you're going to have to go back to. I ain't never been worried about no toothpaste. I remember growing up when the gas got cut off. So many things got cut off. So many of our partners would run a long extension cord across the street to snatch a little power from somebody else's house. But I loved how back in the day, everybody looked out for everybody. It wasn't no such thing where I know that brother over there, his house needs this and needs that. He's not going to get help. But see, if you take a good look around, y'all, things ain't too pretty right now. But what was you doing before? So what if they ain't got no toilet paper on, they ain't got no toilet tissue on the shelf? What you gonna do? If they run all the way out. We better wake up and realize what we living in, y'all. As it get worse and worse and worse before it get better. And I know some of my old school people gonna be like, I feel you in this video, JT. I feel you. Because the creativity of our race of people is awesome. Most of us never panic. When things happen, we found another way. Every time they came out with something, we came out with a way how to go around it and still figure out how to tap into it, didn't we? I remember back in the day when the let me go all the way old school. How many of y'all remember the old brown cable box, Topcom? How many of y'all remember that? With the chip in there. They had a chip way back then. And how we would go figure out a way how to get free cable. Oh yeah, we did all that. Yeah. Satellites come out. How y'all figure out how to program on satellites and all that stuff? Where that stuff come from? That stuff, we will always find a way to figure out how to still get what we want to get. It just shows you the creativity. Am I saying a lot of stuff we did was right? Nah, it wasn't right. But a lot of stuff this world have done ain't never been right. Sometimes we used to have this mentality that they gonna get us, we gonna get them. But what was we doing before? Some of these young kids don't even know how to go outside and play because of the video games, the technology. Now technology is so advanced that it's hard to get people to get off of it because they glued to it. Technology is great and it's bad to me. The Bible shows you that. God said, I made man upright, but they sought out many inventions. Because they started putting now what you see is people loving technology more than the creator. Musicians at church. All this technology now. Let me go. Where my old school musicians at? Back in the day when you had just a washing board. You didn't have the Yamahas and the Casios and all the motifs and the Rolands and all the stuff. Now you just had an old banged up piano that was out of tune, that you had to skip over a whole lot of keys to just try to make the piano sound decent. That old organ with the 2 switches that you still had to run and start, let it warm up, let it spin. Now you can cut an organ on with just like a keyboard, bloop, bloop, just that fast. But them old B3s, them old A3s, some of the best sounding things, boy. But what was we doing before? Sometimes I wonder, as I close, if it got back to how it was back in the day, how many people would actually survive? What was you doing before your cell phone? You had a landline. Some people still got their landline. And one thing about a landline, it will not shut off. Even if you got caller ID and a storm come and knock out the electricity, the caller ID part might not work, but that landline still gonna work. You still gonna make a call. Why everybody else gonna be looking for some way to charge? They might have to go outside and charge it up in the vehicle, unless they got a generator or something running. I'm having fun with this video, but I'm being real at the same time. The clothes. Some people mad because the malls are still closed. What was you doing before? I ain't never had a problem with hand-me-downs. Because some people hand-me-downs was still brand new. They wore it one time and they handed it down to me. I used to couldn't wait growing up with my big brother because he was long and standing by 6'2", 6'3". So when he outgrew his stuff, I love when it shrunk in the dry and it came down to me. I can wear it now. That was something new for me. I ain't never had a problem with going to the thrift store because I ain't never been stuck on name brand stuff. Still to this day, I ain't stuck on name brand stuff. I ain't had no problem with XJ900s. I didn't have no problem with Pro Wings. I didn't have no problem with corduroys and plaid shirts. While I watch people spend hundreds of dollars on just a pair of pants. $150 on a jersey. One jersey. You give me $150, I will have a rack of stuff to this day. And I'm not saying that to say you supposed to do what I do. I'm saying I make wise decisions. I'm a great steward. And I save so much money. And I used to laugh because growing up, Lord rest my homeboy Ricky Porter soul. We just called him Little Tricky. But I used to buy so many shoes from my brother. When them Jordans and Jumpmans came out, I would get them from him. He would wear them a few times and then get tired of them. And I say, what you want for them? Got them for a little or nothing. Kept them clean. And then my other partner, he would just say, man, you want these? Who was saving? Who was coming out on top of me? Ain't hard to spend nothing. Because when you grow up once again, not having a whole lot, you learn how to go through this life being very appreciative of the little things, and your mindset is like, whatever come your way, you know how to survive. I remember my homeboys when they used to run out of block paper, they would start rolling up notebook paper, smoking weed out of notebook paper back in the day. They got all these video games now. We would do things like my mama would take the sheets off the bed and make us a tent in the room. Go make us our favorite food to eat. Or we would go outside in the backyard in the tent. Mama make some nachos and bring your little favorite treats out there. We spent a night outside. We thought we were somewhere else. Man, them days like that, I would never forget because we didn't even need no money to have fun. If you was broke, you didn't even know you was broke because you were so creative and you had fun. What if we get back to them days' time? How many would really know how to survive?